track is There's No Future in Optimism. It's taken from the brilliant new album by Garbage, their eighth, Let All That We Imagine Be the Light. And it's with great pleasure that I welcome Shirley back to the beat. Hello.
Hello, you.
It's good to chat. Where are you today?
I am home in Edinburgh, Scotland.
I have to congratulate you on this album. It's a thing of wonder. It really is. I mean, it's a bit of a roller coaster ride. There are gear changes from like track 4, Have We Met the Void, to Sisyphus track 5. We go from the dark, slightly disturbing, to something really beautiful about your voice in Sisyphus. How did you achieve all this?
First of all, I'm blown away. Thank you so much. It's really, really amazing to hear you say that. You never really know how people are going to receive their work, and so it's lovely to get a great reaction. But yeah, the record's full of light and shade, I suppose, for want of a better term, coming off No Gods No Masters, which was our previous record. That was quite an outraged record. I was full of frustration, and I was so worried about where the world was headed. And then, of course, making this record, we were already where I feared that we would end up. And so this new record is much more trying to reach for all that which is wonderful in the world, and trying to remember what the great things humankind are capable of. I think that's primarily the driving force behind this record.
I mean, you'd had your own health problems, hadn't you? You'd had surgery going back a few years. So do you think that mental state, that state of mind where you were out there, fed into this as well?
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. To be fair, I didn't have health problems per se. I had mechanical problems in that my body broke and I needed a full hip replacement as a result of falling off stage about 5 years ago. And I fixed the first hip and then learned how to walk again. And then a year later, the other one gave out on me. So it was a lot, over the course of 2 years. And the record was made between these 2 surgeries of mine. So speaking personally for myself, this record was all about sort of recovery. And it helped me deal with sort of my mental state, because I was in a lot of distress about where we are, as a global community. It feels very pressing. And the idea of rehabilitation is running in my mind all the time, whilst writing this record. And I saw the results of being patient and making small changes. And that has taught me a lot about how to just move forward in my life. And yeah.
It's interesting that rehabilitation, as you mentioned there, both in terms of the world and you, feed into what in essence turns into this great cacophony of sound. It's just an incredible bit of alchemy, isn't it, really?
I think that's the chemistry that I enjoy with the rest of the band, who are in no small part responsible for writing this music. I mean, they sent me a lot of musical ideas at the beginning of making this record, and I was quite taken aback by what they sent me. It was much more cinematic than I expected. There was a lot less guitars and a lot more synths. It's like a dystopian romance.
It's incredible that 8 albums in, you're making something that is so different to anything that's gone before, because most bands by now would have got a template for how they want to sound. Garbage don't have a template, do they? I don't think.
No, we don't. And but at the same time, I think, the fact that I was so broken, I didn't come into the studio a lot. And so we were working completely separately. I basically did all my parts, all my writing by myself, and then brought it into the band. And the band did the same with me. They offered up music ideas, and I wrote on top of that. And so we were completely separate from one another, and it forced us into a new way of working. And like you so rightly point out, after 30 years of working together, to be gifted a whole new sort of way of creating was a magical, unexpected gift.
And the fact that you've stuck it together for that amount of time, few bands make it to 5 years, surely, let alone 30. My goodness. What's your secret? You need to write a book about it.
Well, I do work with really good people. Like, the band are lovely, lovely people. Gentle men, that helps. We're not really good mates per se. We're like a family. We're like brother and sister. So it's not like we hang out together. We're not wrapped up in each other's lives at all. And I think, although that sometimes makes for difficult communication, it's also preserved a sort of light and enjoyable relationship.
I'm looking at your gig listing here. You've got loads of opportunities to fall off stage again. Please be careful. I mean, they're endless. But unfortunately for us, and I'm looking at this green with envy because they're all on the other side of the pond, aren't they?
They are. They're all in North America. I mean, we toured in Europe last year. We came to the UK last summer, right before my next hip replacement. And so it's North America's time this time round, to be fair. We haven't played there on our own terms and headlining for about 8 years. So it is their time, as they say.
Shirley, thanks for finding time for me at the Eye of the Storm. It's very much appreciated.
Thank you, Dean. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
The Beat. BBC Radio Nottingham.